Hi friends, welcome back to Sheena's Homestead. If you're new here, I'm Sheena and this is my kitchen. And today I am going to show you how to make turkey broth out of the turkey carcass that we just used on Christmas Day. My mom actually cooked the turkey and she let me have the carcass. So I'm going to show you how I make turkey broth and then we're going to can it together too. So here I have it, and we've got a couple extra bones in there, and we're just gonna put this whole thing right into our boiling pot of water. So I have this giant stock pot that I got at Menards. This is actually my water bath canning pot, and I use it for big projects like this. So I'm gonna just take this carcass out. Oh boy. And put it right in. It's okay to have a little meat on there, that's totally fine. We are gonna take our broth and run it through a cheesecloth to make sure we get all those little bits and pieces out before we put it into our canning jars. So don't worry about that. We're just gonna get it in there and get it to the boil and just let it sit and then simmer all day long. All right, so our next step then would be to get all of our vegetables in the pot as well. So I have celery here. I have some rainbow carrots that my mother-in-law found for us on clearance, probably at Aldi. I don't peel my carrots before I put them in. I definitely wash them, but I don't peel them. I don't mind the extra nutrients that are in the carrots. So just make sure that you get organic so that you don't get any of the extra pesticides on any of your vegetables. So we're gonna wash our celery, our carrots. I have a big thing of fresh parsley right here. We're gonna get that in as well. And then this is what I have been saving. Usually my bag is all the way full, but I just made broth after the Thanksgiving turkey. So this bag is full of just skins and bits and pieces. This is a little sprig of thyme that I just put them all in a bag in the freezer, and then I keep this for when I make broth. There are a lot of nutrients in the skins of the onions and such that you want to be in your broth. So why not keep them? Unless you have chickens, which I do. So sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I just toss them to the chickens. But if I have the time to put them away and save them for ourselves, I do. So that's just a tip for you for a little extra nutrition. So let's wash these up and get them into our stock. Okay, so just cut off the ends, both this one and this one, of all your carrots, so we just have the fresh stuff like this. You can toss that to your chickens or whatever. And then we're just gonna give these a nice rough chop. We don't need to cut them into nice tiny pieces. They are gonna break down in our broth. All right, all nice and chopped. We're gonna dump this right in. And in we go. All right, and about 3 tablespoons of a really good salt. We want a whole lot of garlic. We're just gonna smash it a little bit so that the nutrients can leach out, but we're gonna throw the whole thing in, skin and all. I still have some homegrown onions that need to be used up, so I'm gonna take a couple of these And we're gonna get these in our pot. All right, and now we've got our parsley, and I'm just gonna rough chop it. We're gonna throw it in, stems and all. So making broth is really personal preference. You can add whatever spices or whatever herbs that you like the best. So if you've got something laying around like that you want to put in, like dill or something like that, you can do that. One thing to remember though is if you add pepper, pepper tends to get even more bitter as it is pressure cooked. So I tend to go light on the pepper, if any at all, because I'm pressure canning it. If you were just making this to serve and eat right away in a soup or something like that, definitely go ahead and put some peppercorns in your stock pot. But because I am canning it, I am not going to put any pepper in. I will do that in my final product, whatever that ends up being. So the name of the game now is just going to be low and slow. So I'm going to turn it down just a little bit, and we are going to let this cook all day long. It doesn't matter how long you go. If you wanted to, put this outside in your garage refrigerator or something like that, and then start again tomorrow just to make sure you get all the nutrients out, you definitely can do that. I have done that many times before. So and it also depends on your timing. If you don't have time to do the whole process of canning in the same day, you can absolutely put this in the fridge, bring it back out tomorrow, cook it a little longer, and then if you have time tomorrow to can, you can do that as well. Okay friends, the time has come. We are ready to can our turkey stock. So the first thing I'm gonna do before I pull it off the stove is get my Presto canner ready. So I just wanna take out the liner, and I am going to fill it to the maximum fill line. So we are going to have it set to pressure can. I'm going to click OK, and then I want to go up to 90 minutes because I have quarts. I have 1 pint too, but we want to process for the maximum size. So then we want to insert jars. So I am not going to insert my jars because I already have them over here, all set and ready to go. So I'm just going to press OK. And I'm gonna put the lid back on so that it heats a little quicker. And now we're ready to fill our jars. All right, so let's grab our stock pot. This is still pretty hot, so I'm gonna bring it over with my mitts. Oh, so heavy. Oh my gosh, honestly, it's probably 50 pounds. That is so heavy. Okay, wow, look at that. This is awesome. It has cooked down and it is looking beautiful. I'm super excited to stock our pantry with some more turkey broth for all of those soups we're gonna make. And it's just such a nutritional thing to have in the pantry. And it's completely organic, completely homemade, and we stretched $1, so this is where it's at. Let's get started. But this is just how I do this process. I have my little sieve here, my strainer, and I am going to take a large measuring cup, and what I do is I just take this and pour it over the top like this. And then I let it drain a little bit. And then I'm gonna dump my extra veggies here into a bowl, and the chickens are gonna get to eat those. So works out really well. So I have 5 quart-sized jars here to work with and 1 pint. That's what fits in my Presto canner. So I'm going to begin by making this easy for myself. I'm going to put my first jar right here, and I'm going to use this to just fill it up. All right, so now it's telling us we can fill our jars, and we just did that. So now we're gonna place them inside. Last step with these is to get a nice seal. So we're gonna put our lids on. I am using this vinegar, and you have to use at least 5% acidity so that it cuts through the grease on the edge of the rim. What we're also doing here is feeling the edge of the rim to make sure there's no chips, because that would also prevent a seal. So these are quite hot. Make sure you don't burn yourself, but also make sure you wipe down every edge here. You can see that I definitely did have some on the edge. And then we're gonna take our lids and put them right on. I use these 4 jars canning lids. They have a great success rate. And then these here are our bands, and we're going to put that over the top. And you want to be careful, like I said, this is hot. And we want to tighten it finger tight. So that means not so tight that it's going to create this seal and end up exploding. We don't want to do that. Just enough that our fingertips can tighten it down just to where it needs to be, just like that. So now we're going to use our jar lifters because these are pretty hot, and we're going to put it right in. That one's going to go in the middle. So you can see 5 quarts and 1 pint fit into this beautifully. Now I'm going to put on the lid, and we want to move it to the locked position. I want to put this little latch all the way down, and I'm going to take my regulator off, and I'm going to press the next button, and now it's heating, and so now we'll just wait. So you can see I have quite a bit of stock still left over, and I just did another set of 5 jars. I'm going to add 1 more pint in there. So total I'm going to have 10 quarts and 2 pints out of this entire stock pot full. So I'm going to save this for tomorrow's dinner. I'll probably make some chicken noodle soup. So I would call that a success. All right, so now it wants me to put the regulator on, which is this piece here. Pop that right there. And then we're gonna press the next button, next. And now we don't have to do anything else. It will do the whole process on its own. Well, friends, it was a long day, but we got so much done. I have my second batch in the Presto canner right now. So when all is said and done, we are gonna have 10 quarts and 2 pints full of liquid gold. If you wanna take your recipes to a whole new level of deliciousness, and that is your goal for 2025, let me tell you that starting with ingredients like homemade turkey and chicken stock is going to really, really escalate anything it is that you're gonna make. It tastes so much better than the store. And this is one of the secrets to restaurants and chefs everywhere is don't buy chicken stock. You've got to make it yourself. And as you saw, it did take a long time. We roasted the chicken in our stock pot for a really long time, but that wasn't active working time. We had time to do all kinds of other things. In fact, Rob and I went and took a walk. I made dinner. I did a lot of other things. So this was roasting and doing the work on its own. And all we had to do was chop up the ingredients, put it in, and just keep an eye on it. The hardest part was putting it into the jars and getting it in the canner. But as you can see, the Presto canner is a really handy gadget. It gets everything done without the guesswork. If you are afraid of pressure canning, I do have a real pressure canner, the kind that you put on the stove and stuff. This one is so much easier for me in the frame of life that I am in at the moment. I am driving kids here and there and everywhere, and this one is a lot safer for me to be able to put together and walk away from. Whereas the other one, you kind of have to babysit just a lot more. So this works for me, and as you can see, I put up a lot of canning in the month of December and January. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it encouraged you to try to can on your own, because this is such a valuable tool for life, and it adds so much more nutrition to our family. And knock on wood, we have not gotten sick yet this winter, and I do attribute that to all of the extra nutrients that we have been getting in our homegrown food. So if that's something that you want to do in 2025, make sure to go down below and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will bring you lots more canning videos. And also we're gonna start getting our gardening in gear soon. We will probably start planting the end of February. I do have grow lights here at home, so come along with me for that ride. It is a really fun day when we start planting again. So thanks for coming along with me. I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I will see you again real soon on Sheena's Homestead. Goodbye, friends.